I'd looked all week for something, didn't really find anything. And then Saturday morning, within about, I don't know, 10 minutes, 20 minutes of it going live, I spotted a...
Let's go! Yahoo!
What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the free trading game collection, the series where I look to build a video game collection without spending any money on it. If you want to know how I've managed to get everything that you see behind me for no money out of pocket, go into the description. There is a playlist, hopefully at least, with every single video linked there, so you could go back and check it out if you've missed any. Now, in this series, what I like to do, obviously, is go to places like Facebook Marketplace, charity shops, eBay, Vinted, you name it, wherever I can get some sort of deal, I'll pick it up, flip part of it on to make the money back, and in some cases make a profit. We have a profit in this series right now, which is nice. And then anything left over, if I want to keep it, put it into the collection. If not, we'll take it to CEX and see what they give us, and then we can get a voucher to get the games that we actually want for the collection. It's as simple as that. My first stop today is going to be a charity shop. One game in there, literally one game in the entire place, not one game worth looking at, one game. It was Lego Star Wars on the Wii. They wanted £1, which is actually pretty good for this charity shop. They normally price things up at about £4 or £5 a game. It trades in for £3, which is decent. Unfortunately, the disc was too far gone for me to buy, so I had to leave it. So just to touch on the comment section of the most recent video, there were plenty of negative Nancys and sensitive Susans knocking about the place, but for every one of those, there were about 10 people who were trying to be helpful and leave nice, kind comments. I never claim to be an expert when it comes to video games or collecting video games, so any help you can give me in the comments is very much appreciated. Thank you very much for your support. Let's get back into today's video. Let's get into today's pickup. First of two pickups, actually. I was on Facebook, and it was, I think, Saturday morning, might have been last week, and I'd looked all week for something, didn't really find anything. And then Saturday morning, within about, I don't know, 10 minutes, 20 minutes of it going live, I spotted a 3DS console with games for 50 quid. I had to actually look to see how much a 3DS XL I was going for to even know if it was worth it or not. There's so many different variants of the 3DS or the DS in general that I didn't really know. So I looked it up, and turns out 50 quid for the console just by itself is a good deal, let alone with games. So straight away went in there, can I come pick this up? Yes. And then I made the trek. So no audio on this one, unfortunately, but this is the pickup. 3DS XL and some games in there, and of course that wire is a charger. Had to walk quite a long way to get this one, but we counted it as our weekend walk. Not that we actually do that. So here I am on a bench, didn't think this through. Massive gaps in the bench, so I am about to drop things through the gaps. But as you can see, there's a FIFA in there, there's a few other games. The thing that I was just looking for really, though, is the console. That barcode that you don't see on the back there has been taken off. Now, that is bad news if I wanted to trade it in. So CEX require that, it's not a barcode, it's like a serial number. CEX require the serial number on the back to trade it in, unfortunately, so I won't be able to do that. But some decent games in there, which is quite nice to see. Let's get back to the game room and we can go through all of them. And here it is in all its glory. I think is it like crystal white, diamond white or something. 3DS XL, and yeah, fully working. Screens are in good condition. However, unfortunately, it doesn't have the serial on the back like I mentioned, so CEX wouldn't take this, but it also doesn't have the stylus. Now personally, I'm not bothered because you can buy a stylus cheap enough, and the serial number to me doesn't make a blind bit of difference. But if I were to trade this in or want to trade it in, I couldn't. Now the charger is over there, it's plugged in, so I'm not going to show you, but the games are right here. So two of which were sealed. And I wouldn't say this is what made me think, right, I'm going to buy it, but this definitely helped. So 50 quid for that by itself is a banging deal. They go for more than 100 in CEX. I think they give, I can't remember how much they give, but it's on screen for you, in credit if it was trade worthy, of course. And they go for about £100-ish, maybe a touch more on eBay, which I thought was really good. But then these two games here are sealed. Now this one, I actually, to be fair, both of them I kind of want to keep, but at the same time, I want to make some money back on this. So Dead or Alive Dimensions on the 3DS, obviously. Sealed, brand new. That will probably go for between 10 and 12, maybe a touch more if I can. And then this one I've just sold. This is Resident Evil, the Mercenaries 3D. Now, I didn't know this existed. This is essentially just a mini game from Resident Evil 4 and I think 5 that they've just adapted to the 3DS. It looks kind of cool. It's just wave and wave of zombies. But because this is worth a little bit more sealed than it is just standard secondhand, I thought I would cash in, make some money back, and then eventually pick it up for like £4 or £5 opened, because I want to play this at some point anyway, so it was pointless keeping the sealed version. But yeah, that's a little bit of the money back, and then that Dead or Alive will get me a little bit more of the money back, and then whatever's left over I get to keep, right? So first game, probably the most exciting one actually. Rooms. No idea what this is. Point and click, some sort of, I don't know, detective thing. It's worth nothing. I'm probably never going to play it, so yep, it'll go over there. I don't know what I'm going to do with that. And then we have FIFA 15. Apparently, this is the last FIFA they released on the DS. This channel used to be dedicated to FIFA, and I really enjoy FIFA, or rather, I used to. I played this a fair bit the other day, and I really enjoyed it. So yeah, not as bad as I thought that was going to be. And then the other one, Super Mario Maker 3DS. This is one of those where I have it already on the Wii U. Do I really need it on the 3DS? Not sure. We'll talk about that in a second. And finally, Super Street Fighter 4 3D edition. Yeah, there's a lot going on there. But that I played for quite a while. Got through quite a few fights. I really enjoyed myself playing that, actually. The 3D is really good, and I've only ever really played it here or there when I was testing the console, when I was bringing it in for trade or something years ago, and that was obviously just the original 3DS, and I really enjoy it, and I thought at the time, yeah, that's kind of cool, but then I never really gave it more attention. The other day when I first picked it up, I played that for over an hour before I realised where the time had gone, and then I put FIFA in to see what it was all about, and I actually really enjoyed it, and ended up playing like 4 or 5 games on there as well. So yeah, I put a lot of time into that DS in day one, just because it was new and I'd never played it before, and the 3D really, like, I don't know, I was really interested in it. So I was going to sell that originally. I thought about it because I want a DS, and I've wanted one for a while, not urgently or anything, but I was going to get the 2DS XL. Having used the 3D though, I think I'm just going to keep that because it saves the hassle of having to sell it and then looking for a different one. Whatever. So I'm just going to keep that. We're going to put that into the collection. And these games, I'm also going to keep some of them. So definitely keeping Street Fighter. Really enjoyed that. I'm going to trade this. I'm not going to sell it. I'm just going to trade it. I think it goes in for 6. We have it on the Wii U. I probably won't ever play it. So it will go into CEX, and I will swap it for something that I actually want. There are plenty of 3DS games that interest me, so that will go in for one of those. I'm going to keep FIFA because it's the most recent one on the console, and you never know when you want to go back and play with possibly one of the worst Liverpool teams ever, maybe. And then this is worth nothing. It's not worth selling. It's not worth trading, so it's going to have to go into the collection until I maybe get a DS I can bundle it with and just sell it on. So it's been a while since we've added a console to the collection, but there it is. Now, with that being said, what happens when you get a new console? You need some games. Now, we have games, but I want one particular game that my local CEX has, so we need to work out how we can get the credit for that. And it just so happens I found another Facebook pickup. So I'm sat editing a video, and then on my other screen I've got Facebook open, and I refreshed it just in between edits, and something popped up. It doesn't happen very often, so I was taken aback. It was a picture full of Xbox One games. Now this is the kind of thing that you need to be quick with, because someone will pounce. Fortunately, I was that someone. I was the first person to this deal, and I know that because I've got the 2 most expensive games out of the bundle. So it was £5 each. There was no mention of if you buy 4, I'll give you 1 free, or not money off, or I'll do the whole lot for a certain amount. I did consider asking how much they would have wanted for the whole thing. If they were PS4 games, I probably would have asked, just because we obviously collect PS4 games. I don't collect Xbox One, so why am I even going for this? Well, for £5 each, there's bound to be something there that trades in for more than a £5, and I was absolutely right. There were 2 games that I noticed that traded in for more than £5 that were definitely worth picking up. So To get some exercise in, I decided to run to this deal, as I always do, and here are the pickups. So I've just been for my run and got a Mega Drive collection on Xbox, and there's the Minecraft one as well. I think both of them give me about 25 in credit, cost me £10, decent pickup, time to run home. So I took them back to the game room for a little bit of a wipe over, not that they needed it to be fair. Sega Mega Drive collection I think trades in for 12 and the Minecraft game traded in for 13. I'm showing you like this because I don't have them anymore. I took them straight to CEX. So not a massive amount of credit to spend here, but 25 quid I think it was, which is not bad at all. Just picked up that 3DS, so I was wanting to go and have a look at the DS section to see if anything popped out. Bit of a mess in this CEX today, it's not normally like this. That game there, £22, I mentioned it in a video recently, you can go to Vinted and pick it up for nearly 10 quid on the PS5. Republic of Riders I think it is. I've wanted that for quite a while. We'll pick it up eventually. Is it Ash versus the Evil Dead? I think that might be an online-only job. Again, I need to look into that sort of thing. But bit of a messy situation today in this CEX. This is my local, which are normally really nice and tidy. This game in particular, I don't see it very often at all. I don't know anything about it. £42 I thought was a bit high, but when I looked it up, actually, it's about bang on eBay price, which is normally not the case for games when it comes to Switch games and things. And this one is another one. I keep wanting to call it El Dorado, I don't know why. But 40 quid, and again, on eBay, you can't really get it that easy. I think most of them are imports. But those two caught my eye in particular, and then of course you have your staples, like the Pokemon games and such, but then Need for Speed Hot Pursuit, not really a Need for Speed game that I ever played too much of, but I wouldn't mind giving it a go. £25, I didn't know whether to spend all of the credit on one game, because there was another game that I've already picked it up actually, but there was another game that I really wanted. So I picked that up immediately just to sort of keep it in my hand. They've had a Witcher 3 traded in recently. We have that on the PS4, of course, with the free graphic upgrade. So I will eventually get it on the Switch, I think, because I do like to play a lot of stuff handheld these days. Quick look at the PS3 for no reason other than just looking for steelbooks. Couldn't really see any at first glance. And then I walked over to the DS section, which you can see is quite bare. So I'm looking to see if I can find the one game in particular that I've kind of already researched, and we go to the 3DS section. So there was this Zelda for 18. I think there are two Zeldas on the 3DS for 18. One of them, there's another one then that's like 30 something. This was 350. Goosebumps. I was going to say Ghostbusters then. Goosebumps 350. Don't know anything about that game, so even though it might be worth picking up for 350, I left it alone. And then nothing really else there. A couple of the odd games here and there, and then this, which was £125. And it, oh dear, I don't understand. Cover reprinted, but they want full 125 quid for it. No thanks, let's put that back. A lot of Pokemon games, which I wouldn't mind picking up at some point on the DS. But let's get back to the game room. Let me talk about the DS a bit more, and of course, let me show you the pickups. Now, before I get into those pickups, I have to show you how much I've spent today. So we're going to take in that 3DS XL and put that on screen. That's the amount I paid. And then we're going to add on the £10 for the Xbox One games. That is, I think, 60 if my memory serves on how much things were. And then, of course, I'm going to deduct the price of that Resident Evil game that we just got because I've just sold it. And what I'll be really conservative with the Dead or Alive. I don't like to wait for things to sell because I will forget to do it. So I like to just throw out a conservative price of what I would be happy to sell it at. And if I remember in the future, if it's gone for a different amount, I will just adjust the overall figure. But if I deduct Resident Evil and Dead or Alive from the £60, you get that amount left. That's how much we've spent, and I'll take that off the cash profit in the series, and that's what we're left with. Simple as that. Now, pickups. Now, before I show you the two games that I've picked up, because I bought two, there were a lot of comments based on my video game selection. Some negative Nigels were saying how I'm not a real collector and I'm ruining collecting for people. I just don't get those comments, so I banned them because I can't be asked. And then, of course, there are people who question my game choice. Those people, they're fine. If you want to sit there and say, why have you bought this game? Why are you buying this game? Someone said, I don't understand your reluctance to buy the games that you say that you want, and then you go and spend £28 on YouTuber's Life. Well, the day before I went to CEX, I'm watching a video of someone showing off their Switch collection. Because I like to watch those videos as much as anybody else, right? So I'm sat there watching it, and I'm being educated at the time, because like I said, I don't ever claim to be an expert. I don't know hardly anything about anything when it comes to video games. So I'm learning, and I'm watching, and he pulls out a game, and it's YouTuber's Life. And I didn't even know you could get YouTuber's Life on the Switch. I played it a lot on the PC back in the day, really enjoyed it, and all of a sudden it triggered like a memory of the game, and I was like, oh, I really want to play that all of a sudden. You know, you just get that when you see something and you forgot it existed, and you think, oh wow, I really want to watch that, I really want to play that. That's what happened. So I went to CEX website, typed in YouTuber's Life, had a look at Cardiff to see what they had, because I knew I was going there the next day. They didn't have the first one, but they had the second one. I have seen the second one every now and again dotted around the place, but not that often. And I thought, how different can it possibly be? Looked at a minute trailer that didn't show much of anything apart from him running, like your character running around the village or whatever, and obviously making videos. And I thought, yep, kind of looks the same, but maybe with a little bit more open world, some few, like more options with regards to what content you can make or whatever. And it just looked good, so I thought, yep, screw it, let's go for it. I really want to play that, and that's why I bought it over something like Mario Odyssey or Luigi's Mansion that I do want to play at some point, but I'm more than happy to wait to get those games. But in that moment, I just really wanted to play YouTuber's Life, and that's the kind of person that I am. If I see something I'm thinking, oh, I want to play that right now, I will prioritize that over something that I know I want to play but maybe don't have the urge to play there that second. And yes, my game choices can be terrible. Not everyone is and I always go to these type of games, but not everyone is going to want to play, okay, that's actually a banger. But when it comes to these types of games, hardly anyone is going to go and pick that up and enthusiastically put it in their collection. I do, because they are the type of games that I like just sitting down and playing every now and again. And even though it's a really cheap game, I don't care. It's going in my collection, which is exactly what it is, people. And I don't know, I just really like these kind of things. And it doesn't matter whether the game is worth £500 or £5 or 50 pence. My collection is my collection. I don't really care of the value of it or what games I'm picking up necessarily, so long as they are games that I really want to play or have played in the past, like I mentioned, and I have a nostalgia for. So that's why I collect what I collect. I wouldn't ever dream of bashing someone else's life choices unless they hurt other people, which when it comes to video game collecting, let's be honest, they don't. So you collect what you want to collect, I'll collect what I want to collect, and you can leave your suggestions to games that you think I may like in the comments. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Let me show you the games I picked up. So the first one is a DS game, not a 3DS game, even though I've just banged on about how much I enjoy the 3D aspect. This is a game that is an adaptation from a cartoon that I loved as a kid. It is Thundercats. It was a whopping £8. I actually couldn't quite believe it was as expensive as it is, but only one in stock in my CEX, not that many in the company in general, so had to pick it up. I haven't watched Thundercats for a long time, but when I saw it on the website, because I had a little bit of a look the day I picked up the DS to see what games were around, when I saw it again, much like YouTuber's Life, but this time much more of a nostalgia hit, the memories of watching the cartoons just came flooding back to me, and all of a sudden I was 6 again, and I really, really wanted to play this. So straight away, first game I went to in the DS section was Thundercats, had to have it, picked it up, there it is, very happy. And it is also complete. Has the manual in there as well, which is very nice to see. Haven't played it yet, but definitely going to soon. Looking forward to it. Now this next one is where all the money went essentially, because I only had £3 left in credit after I bought this game, and I had to put a fiver towards that Thundercats. So we are actually going to spend more money on top of what I've already taken out of the cash profit. This one is a game that I've already owned, but I traded because I didn't really like it at the time. Now, though, I have it on my preferred platform and I'm willing to give it a go. So much so that I've already played the first 3 stages, and even though the second stage, it drove me a little bit insane, I am actually enjoying it a lot more than I did first time round. It is Sonic Mania Plus. This is a game that I don't see that often on the Switch in CEX stores. It is worth around $25 on eBay, so it's a good price to pick it up for. Unfortunately, it doesn't come with all the, the gubbins that goes with it, I guess, the slip cover and whatever. I'm not sure if every version of this came with that, but this doesn't. Now, if I open it, obviously it does have that reversible cover, which is really nice. I don't know if I will do that or not, because I do like my Switch games to be uniform, but it does have a little manual, but it doesn't have the art book. This for £22 for me, I don't know, it just seemed like a no-brainer. And again, you can argue, why didn't you pick up this game, that game, this game? But I've been playing this, and I've been enjoying it. And I've always said that I wanted to get it back again, to the point where I actually said at one point that I regretted trading it. I don't now, because I've got it on my preferred platform. I've actually been playing it handheld. And I just feel like a Sonic game is better in your hands. I used to have the Game Gear as a kid, and I played that to death. I loved the Game Gear. And then for some reason, after the Game Gear and the Pokemon on the Game Boy Color, I just gave up on handhelds. I had PSPs over the years and things and never really got into them. And now that we're in the Switch era, I'm playing it handheld 90% of the time. It's just class. I love it. And this is an absolute banger that I didn't give a fair chance to when I first got it. So I'm really happy to pick that up. The second stage, though, my God, I hate that. With the water, I can't stand the water. But there we are. Massive pickups, new console, some games to go with it, and a Switch game, which is my kind of day. Fantastic. Big fan of those pickups. The money spent has been deducted from the cash profit. We are going to need to put more profit into the series eventually, because we are going to start spending some money here or there. I've got some really nice vintage pickups to show you soon, but that's going to do it for today's episode. If there is a game out there that you think I would enjoy, let me know in the comments. Tell me your recent pickups and what you think of my 3DS pickup if you like, and if you have enjoyed it, do me a favour and drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and until the next time, goodbye.